Welcome back to Bible Shorts, episode 31, 40 years later. Well, remember, in our last episode, 10 of the 12 men that Moses sent into Canaan to spy out the land came back and said, "Oh, it's too dangerous for us to go into Canaan." Well, two others, a man called Caleb and a man called Joshua, insisted that the Lord would be with them and it was going to be okay. But as usual, the Israelites started wailing that they wanted to go back to Egypt. And the Lord told Moses, "Take them back into the desert, and after 40 years I'll bring their children and grandchildren into the land that I promised to their ancestors." So now time has passed, Moses has died, and Joshua is now the leader of the Israelites. And they are camped outside Canaan on the east bank of the Jordan River. And Joshua has determined that it is now time for them to cross the Jordan River and enter the land that the Lord had promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Today I will begin to exalt you in the eyes of all Israel, so that they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses. Tell the priests to carry the Ark of the Covenant." Joshua told the people, "Prepare yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you." And the priest carried the Ark of the Covenant in front of all the people as they marched towards the river. Everyone had to stay quite a long way behind the Ark of the Covenant, as it was so holy. But the Jordan River was flowing fast and very deep. How would they get across? They had to cross the river to enter the land of Canaan. The priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant started walking into the river. As soon as their feet touched the water stopped flowing and built up like a large wall. And the riverbed where the priests were standing became dry. The priests walked into the middle of the river and stood still. They stayed there while everyone else crossed over to the other side of the Jordan on dry ground. The soldiers went over first. Then everyone else crossed over to the other side. Joshua chose 12 men to each pick up and carry with them a large stone from where the priests stood in the middle of the river. Then the priests walked to the other side, and immediately the river started flowing as usual. And the people went up from the Jordan and camped at a place called Gilgal on the eastern border of Jericho. And Joshua set up the 12 stones that they had taken out of the Jordan. And he said to the Israelites, "In the future, when your children ask you, 'What do these 12 stones mean?' tell them, 'Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you had crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan what he had done to the Red Sea, when he had dried it up before us until we had crossed over. He did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God.' And that day the Lord did exalt Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they stood in awe of him all the days of his life, just as they had stood in awe of Moses." And the news of this mighty God that the Israelites called the Lord, who had brought them out of slavery in Egypt, will spread into all the land. This land where many years past Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and his 12 sons had lived before a famine sent Jacob and his family to Egypt. And next week, we're going to move forward a long time after Joshua and the Israelites crossed the Jordan River, to a time when once again there was a famine in the hill country of the land that was once called Canaan.